Toru Gojo had Ultra Instinct. Now, I did a similar video on my main channel, the anime feed. That is what if Tanjiro Kamado had Ultra Instinct. If you have not already, go watch that because that was a banger. But anyway, let's get right into the story. Now, we gotta understand what Ultra Instinct is and which version Gojo would have, because there are different forms. We got Ultra Instinct Sign, the first state, then Mastered Ultra Instinct, the full form that Goku used against Jiren, then True Ultra Instinct, his personal version with emotions, and then Perfected Ultra Instinct, which is stable and controlled, not really a new form, just better used now in this story. Gojo has all of these from the start. He grows up with it, and by the time we hit the hidden inventory arc, he already mastered it all. Perfected Ultra Instinct lets him stay in the fight with no burnout, because Six Eyes lowers the cost, so he keeps it active the whole time. True Ultra Instinct fits Gojo, because he fights with confidence and ego, so his attacks become more natural and aggressive, while still automatic. And Mastered Ultra Instinct is his peak, where his body moves perfectly with Limitless, so nobody can touch him, and every move is clean. Now, we get into the hidden inventory arc. Gojo and Suguru Geto take the mission to protect Riko Amanai, and everything seems normal, but Gojo already feels every threat around him. His body reacts before anything even happens. Toji Fushiguro tries to catch him off guard, but it does not work. Gojo with Ultra Instinct dodges before Toji can even attack, and Infinity stays active the whole time. Toji cannot land a hit, even with the inverted spear. Because Gojo keeps moving, without thinking, the fight turns one-sided fast. Gojo switches into True Ultra Instinct and starts pressing him. His attacks hit harder and faster, and Toji cannot keep up. Gojo stays calm and in control using Perfected Ultra Instinct, so he does not get tired and then ends the fight clean. Toji goes down without ever pushing Gojo to the edge. Gojo never dies in this timeline, so there is no awakening later because he was already at his peak. Riko survives, the mission is successful, and this changes everything. Suguru Geto does not break the same way and falls much slower, while Riko Amanai lives a full life instead of dying. And since she was meant to merge with Tengen, but never does, she has huge potential just like Yuki Tsukumo, so if she chooses to fight and train, she could reach special grade level and return later in the story as a powerful sorcerer instead of being gone forever. Well, since Satoru Gojo never goes through that near-death moment, he never gets that full awakening, so he stays at the same level. With Limitless and Six Eyes, he can use blue and red, but not perfectly yet, and he still does not have Domain Expansion, Reverse Curse Technique, or Hollow Purple right now. He is focused on refining Infinity, and with Perfected Ultra Instinct, it does not drain him, so he can keep it active and improve constantly. Oh yeah, and now we have one of my favorite anime movies, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and this is where things change, because Suguru Geto never turns evil, so the main villain of the movie never happens. There is no night parade, no big attack, nothing like that. Yuta Okatsu still joins Jujutsu High, and Gojo trains him, so Yuta learns control faster and gets better with Rika over time. He still becomes strong, but without a huge fight pushing him, his growth is more steady. By the end of this arc, nothing major is destroyed, nobody important dies, and Gojo is still untouchable with Ultra Instinct. Now we move into the start of the story, and this mostly stays the same. Yuji Itadori still eats Ryomen's Sukuna finger and becomes his vessel, and still joins Jujutsu High with Megumi Fushiguro and Nobara, so nothing really changes there. Satoru Gojo is barely in this arc, but when he shows up at the end, he is already in control with Ultra Instinct. Sukuna comes out for a moment, and Gojo just handles it easily, dodging without thinking and keeping Infinity up the whole time. Now we get into the Jogo fight, and this is where Satoru Gojo really shows the difference. Jogo still pulls up thinking he can test Gojo, but it goes even worse for him this time. Gojo with Ultra Instinct dodges everything without thinking, and keeps Infinity active the whole fight, so Jogo cannot land a single hit, not even close. Gojo moves faster and cleaner and reads every move before it even happens. Gojo still uses this fight to teach Yuji Itadori, but he is even more in control while doing it. Jogo tries everything, but it does not matter. Gojo overwhelms him easily and ends the fight without any struggle. Now before this arc, we skip a couple small arcs because Satoru Gojo is not really involved, so nothing changes and everything plays out the same. Now we move into the Kyoto Goodwill event, and most of this still stays the same. Yuji Itadori shows up alive, fights the Kyoto students, and all the fights play out like normal. The only real change is when Hanami shows up. Gojo steps in and quickly fires off Hollow Purple and forces Hanami to retreat right away, ending. Now we are at the Shibuya arc. I know I skipped the death painting arc, but Satoru Gojo is not really in that, so everything stays the same. So let's get into Shibuya. Everything starts the same. The curses set up their plan to trap Gojo and separate him from everyone else. Civilians are everywhere, and the barrier goes up, forcing Gojo to enter alone. When Gojo arrives, the pressure instantly shifts. Jogo, Hanami, and Choso all try to jump him at once like in the original, but it does not go the same. Gojo with Ultra Instinct is moving without thinking. Every attack is dodged before it even reaches him, and Infinity stays perfectly active so nothing gets through. He is reading everything before it happens and controlling the entire fight. Gojo starts picking them apart fast. Jogo tries to overwhelm him with fire and speed, but Gojo is already out of the way, landing hits back instantly. Hanami cannot pressure him at all, and Choso's attacks never connect. The fight becomes one-sided way quicker, and the curses realize they cannot wear him down like before. Because Gojo never got that near-death awakening earlier, he still does not have full reverse curse technique or domain expansion, but Ultra Instinct makes up for it. His movement is perfect, his timing is perfect, and he wastes no energy. So even without those abilities, he is still dominating the battlefield. Now the biggest moment changes the Prison Realm plan. They still bring it out and wait for the right moment, but Gojo does not freeze up or hesitate. His body reacts instantly. The moment the trap is about to activate, he moves out of range before it fully locks in, so he never gets sealed. This completely breaks the entire plan. Kenjaku loses his biggest win condition right away, and now they are stuck fighting a Gojo they cannot touch. From here, Gojo stops holding back. He starts clearing the battlefield faster, taking down curses one by one. Jogo gets overwhelmed and taken out much earlier. Hanami does not last long either. Choso goes down too, and even Mahito does not survive. This time the disaster curses are wiped out in Shibuya, and the entire curse side collapses. Because Gojo is never sealed, everything else never happens. Toji Fushiguro never gets brought back. Maki never gets burned. Yuji is never pushed to the point where Ryomen Sukuna takes over. So there is no rampage, and the city never gets destroyed. The fights across Shibuya never spread out because Gojo ends it early. All the sorcerers realize Gojo is still active, so there is no panic and no split fights. Everything stays controlled, and they win much faster with barely any losses. Kenjaku is the only one who manages to escape after his plan fails, but now he has nothing left. His entire setup is gone. After Shibuya ends, Gojo does not let it go. He goes after Kenjaku later and hunts him down, finishing what started here and ending his plan completely. So after Shibuya, the whole point was to seal Satoru Gojo. But that never happens, and now all the disaster curses are gone, and even Kenjaku is dead. So the culling games never happen, and that whole part of the story is gone. Maki Zenin probably still goes through her own arc and takes out her clan, but it would happen later in the story instead of during all that chaos. And for Ryomen Sukuna, he always stays inside Yuji Itadori and never breaks out. So over time, he is just stuck there while Gojo protects Yuji from the higher ups and keeps everything under control. A lot of people might ask where Suguru Geto was during all this, but he never turned evil, so he stays on standby with the other sorcerers and is not needed in Shibuya since Gojo handled everything himself. And overall, this timeline has a good ending. Gojo is still alive, Yuji is not broken, Maki is not burned, and a lot more sorcerers survive. So I hope you guys enjoyed this timeline. Make sure you go check out my other What If videos, like my Jujutsu Kaisen 1-hour compilation. That is a really fun one to watch when you are chilling or playing a game, or check out What If Yuji Had One For All. That one is a really good timeline too. Hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below if you enjoyed this timeline.